Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome once again to the eastern wing of the Stink Bug Works. I'll tell you what my plans are for today. Stand by. I am going to cut some strips that will go along this bulkhead and along this bulkhead. And I'm going to cut some more strips that I'll glue under them to form a little lip. So I will essentially have something that looks like this, and then it'll have a little lip underneath it. And I'll glue that down. I'll overhang this just a little bit with just a little bit of a lip because I want to be able to get at that servo screw. So it doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be half the width of a piece of tape, a hatch tape. So, and this piece, it'll be just the same on both sides. And then I'll fair all that in. And then I can actually start thinking about the box to hold the motor, the engine. It has two motors, but one engine. So my plan this morning is I'm going to cut these wood strips and give them an epoxy bath. And then, because I'm going to be impatient, I'm going to put them on some wax paper and put them in the little portable oven at 150. Maybe I'll bump it up to 175. I can go 200 on wood and be okay. So I'll bump it up to 175 and cook that epoxy. And then I can epoxy the pieces and put them on. Some more thinking goes like this. Remember, the motors are up against this bulkhead. And so the more I can move the passenger compartment back, the better. So I can start the opening right here. And in fact, I'm even planning on putting a piece of balsa on here and then kind of sanding it round that way to have sort of a instrument panel. Don't get me started on that. To have sort of an instrument panel. So this will come up here and round off this way. Now remember, this deck is going to be outlined with paint. So only the inner portion will be visible. So having this painted, because the Hallett boats were fiberglass boats. So I'm going to make this look like a fiberglass boat with some wood inlays. So it'll have a wood deck and a wood transom. And everything else will be all fiberglass, supposedly. So once those bits of wood are cooking in the oven, I am going to break out the bandsaw and start cutting foam to fill these cavities. Get this front end full of foam. It's already stiff as a brick. And, it's going to be, it can be used as a weapon of war. Anyway, that's just a little status update. So tomorrow, look for this covered up and look for this to be full of pink foam. Until then, boys and girls, jet out.